challenges of architecture before S/4HANA Finance, universal general single source of truth. This tables replaced by compatibility views. Then we talked about universal general extensibility, add extra field, customized field in our universal general configuration, configure the parallel accounting settings. So we configured like one leading ledger and one non-leading. So these are the steps we followed: define company code, define then assign company code to company. Global settings we will see: fiscal year variant, maintain fiscal year variant, assign company code to fiscal year variant, posting period variant. So define variants for open posting periods, assign variants to company code, open and close posting periods. Then check currencies, translation ratios. All this like define settings for ledgers and currency types, define user-defined currency types, update global currency conversion, update currency conversion for company. So extension ledger we still have to see, but yeah, we touch base upon extension ledger. So how basically we define the extension? So extension ledger are created on top of leading ledgers, right? And whenever we post to the main ledgers, also the reports also reflecting extension ledger. Once we'll do the posting, we'll see this part as well. But when we post to extension ledger, that does not reports to the main ledgers. So this is the advantage. Limitations we saw, like we cannot use a different posting period variant and fiscal variant for extension ledger. Although we can, for non-leading ledger, we can use different separate posting period variant and separate fiscal variant. Okay. Edit chart of account. So we used YCOA, assign company code to chart of account group. So basically, we use the same account group. We use the same standard chart of account. So we did not require to separately create the account group. So what do you like just practical things, or because when we do just practical things now, so we missed out so many concepts related to this. Like whenever we follow this slides now, so we capture all the related information. But when we do the hands, sometimes we missed out some important points to mention. So I'll just quickly go through it, and maybe you can say if it fine just to have hands-on or understand the concept as well. Because anyway, like whenever I'm explaining through this now, so also I try to show in the system what I'm trying to refer to most of the time. So let me know whatever is convenience for you, and accordingly we will proceed. So we were having this slides A. So these are the predefined standard currency types. So again, I'm repeating: document currency, 10 company code currency, 20 controlling area currency, 30 group currency, 40 hard currency, 50 index-based currency, 60 global company currency, and 70 CO object currency. So we have understood like where from the system picks this 30 group currency. So what would be our group currency? So at the time of client definition, we mention the currency type. So we saw like we cannot change it currency type whatever we have mentioned. So if we have defined the client with currency group currency USD, so we cannot change the currency at the time of defining the controlling area. So like we understood the concept of other currency type as well. We understood like universal generals keep the currencies and base local and global currencies. Whereas like BSEC, it's keep the information in BSEC underscore ADD table at BSEC underscore add table. We understood this concept, so I'm just skipping this one. So this is the part where we basically define settings for ledger and currency. Also, we can just follow this T code. If I just also we can directly go to this ledger currency setup using this transaction code. So once we enter the transaction, it takes us to the same screen. Okay, so these are basically extension ledger, and extension ledger. And there are two. One is leading ledger, and other than leading ledger, any standard ledger that will be your non-leading ledgers. So like no deletion and deletion possible. There are two kind of extension ledger, standard journal entries for GL adjustment. So basically deletion possible means those are basically simulation ledgers when that is used for the purpose of simulation. Other is like this one is for your predictive analysis. Okay, so commitment and all, which we saw in our previous session, like we understood the account-based approach for parallel accounting solution and like ledger-based concept. So ledger-based concept, this is the new induction in SAP S/4HANA, and it is quite easier compared to the account-based parallel approach. So advantage and comparison, we saw like specific accounts for each gap, which we require to define accounts for, and here no specific accounts are required. We use the same accounts for all the ledgers. A minimum of one retained earning accounts required. Here we don't require any. Only single retained earning accounts are required. Complex balance sheet and income statement, because you need to prepare the versions for each kind of reporting requirement, because you have a different set of GL accounts. So FSB, how do we define? We define with the help of GL series range, right? So if I just go to, so here you could see, so FSB is being defined using the GL series, right? So what will come under cash and equivalent? So if you have a different set of cash of equivalent GL series, then for different accounting principles, so then you require to define a separate FSB for each reporting requirement, right? But here in this case, ledger approach, we have this set of GL accounts. So these are basically simple in terms of deriving the balance sheet and income statement. This has got simplified because using the same account. Relevance of posting for local or international gap is specified at the account level. Relevance of posting for local gap is at the document level. Okay, so at the document level, we could see posted to which ledger, right? And here we basically identify to posted to which account, A, B, or C. All valuation approaches can be posted to controlling. Reading valuation can be posted to controlling. Okay. So in one of the setup, you might have seen like versions and ledger we are linking to our controlling. So extension ledger assigned to standard ledger and inherits all general entries of underlying ledger. Postings made to that extension ledger are visible in that extension ledger only, but not on the underlying ledger. And extension ledger stores delta values and points to another ledger. So it provides a flexible mechanism to adjustments and reporting. Understanding this concept now, because when we post to the extension ledger, so it creates the entry in Sidoka. Okay, you will find that particular entry against that extension ledger. But whenever you post to the main ledgers, okay, underlying ledgers, so it does not have the entry in extension ledger as well as in the underlying ledger. It will just have the data for underlying ledger in SAP. Okay, means here basically whenever we are posting to extension ledger, that is our delta posting, and that will be only stored separately in SAP. Otherwise, if we post to the main ledger, so it will not create two. There is one for main ledger and one for extension ledger. Although when we run the report, so whatever has been posted to the underlying ledger, those plus whatever we have posted to the extension ledger, so those two will be summed up and will be shown in the report. Okay. So benefits are reduced data footprint and zero reconciliation effort. So no additional reconciliation is required, and also data size is reduced in this case because of this approach. So although we have also seen like we use the same fiscal variant and extension ledger inherit the configuration settings of their underlying ledger. They cannot have the different currency settings or fiscal variants. However, they can have different accounting principles, posting period variants, or company code assigned to serve their specific purpose. Extension ledgers don't store postings made to the underlying ledger, but only the manual posting made directly to them. So then same thing again what we discussed. Each ledger is self-contained and has a special purpose and provides a specific view on financial data. Our ledger stores of redundant data in other ledgers. With extension ledger, you can staple ledgers on top of each, thus providing the different views that you need. This structure minimizes the. So here you can have a query like when can we go for extension ledger, when we can go for the non-leading ledger. Okay, so if we have to follow the same fiscal year, okay, like let me just open some sheet. So here you have extension leading ledger, okay, and you're posting something 100 200 in your leading ledger, okay, and in extension ledger, so here you have the posting period variant say K4 calendar year basically, okay, and it basically follows the accounting principle IFRS. Second, you have to follow the same for say US GAAP reporting, okay. So here you have to follow the same calendar year as your fiscal year. So you can go for the extension ledger, okay. Something kind of 0C, 0E. So suppose we have one extension ledger. This is my extension ledger. Here we have like this one is my ledger. So here we are not following the different fiscal year. We can go for extension ledger. So whatever we post to extension ledger, say 5, what will be shown in your extension ledger? So once you run the report for extension ledger, so it will show you 100, 200 is 305. What will be shown in the output of your leading ledger? It will show whatever has been posted to leading ledger. So that will be 300. So means this 5 adjustment posting. In case when non-leading ledger will come in picture, so you have so basically this kind of scenario, you have one standard country-specific reporting requirement or say international reporting requirement. At second, you have tax-specific reporting requirement for that particular company. So tax-specific, and say second one is your international standard reporting requirement. Okay. So both will be following the same fiscal year variant. So in that case, we will go for the extension ledger concept, and we have to pass some postings related to management accounting. So in that case also, we can go for the extension ledger. Okay. The one is for international standard specific, one is tax specific, and third might be a case like where you have to do a management reporting kind of scenario. So you just pass some kind of adjustment entry in, say, some adjustment entry. So say -6. So this is another kind of extension ledger, and purpose of this one is for management reporting. Okay, so you pass some kind of adjustment posting. So in this case, what will be shown in your output? So this will be showing the value of, say, 300 minus 6 will be 294. Okay, so but all this ledgers are following the same fiscal year variant table. Okay, okay. So this is how it works. We'll see in the system as well. So far we have configured this extension ledger in our company code. We have just used leading and non-leading ledgers. So the use case for non-leading ledger is you have one company in US. Sorry, you have the main company, parent company in US. Okay. You have you are going to set up the company code in for India. So IN01. So here you have set up like US01. And here you have set up like IN01. Let's close. So for this one, it serves when we configure the 0 with fiscal variant K4. It serves the purpose of US01. Okay, but same thing if we are using 40L, so it will be using the same K4 fiscal variant just to report to the follow the fiscal year of our parent company. Okay, but at the same time for IN01 we require the report to be available in as per our Indian standard. So in this company will be set up for ledger IN01 say N1 non-leading ledger which will be assigned to fiscal variant V3. So same when we post in IN01. So it will hit 0L also and it will hit N1 also. So whoever is in US, that will run the upload our financial statement report for ledger 0L, and the person who are here, that will run the report with ledger N. See, the company code currency will be your same USD, and company code currency will be INR. Okay, but in INR, first period, this report, once you run for 0L, it will show the January. And this, once you run for N1, so first period means it will show the value of April, right? Which means we follow April to March in India. So Indian people are used to run the report and see the report as per financial year, which is April to March. Whereas this US people, they are used to follow the calendar as their fiscal year. So this could be one of the use case, and yeah, maybe you can come across other requirements, so you can just apply your logic and you can design your blueprint accordingly how you have to set up your system. Extension ledger is not the replacement of standard ledger, as we cannot change the fiscal year variant and currency settings in extension ledger. We might need to create additional ledger which require reporting on different fiscal year for local or tax reporting requirements. So we might need to create an additional for any kind of for a different fiscal year for local and tax reporting requirements. So it's standard general extensions used to store additional data. So this is like what we discussed about the extension ledger. Line items with technical numbers. So simulation used for foreign currency valuation. You can use a simulation extension ledger for daily valuation of foreign currency valuation. This one, prediction and commitments. So third type of extension ledger is for prediction and commitments. So what could be the possible underlying ledger for a case of extension ledger? So uh, if we create the standard uh, journal entries kind of extension ledger, so that we can use for P and S both. When we have this type P, then this can be used as underlying ledger for both P and S. But this, when we created S extension ledger, so that can only be used for S kind of extension ledger. Underlying ledger S could be used for the extension ledger type S. Okay, these are the restrictions, and so when we have to post to a specific ledger, so in that case we used these kind of transactions FP50L, FP01L. So then you had the option to, otherwise, like when we open this transaction, say FP01, FP01. So here we don't get the option to enter the ledger group. But when we enter FP01L, okay, so here we get the to enter the ledger group. So once we enter the ledger group, it will update to that particular ledger group only. So means in that case, we will create the extension ledger, one ledger group for our extension ledger. So whenever we have to pass any kind of adjustment entry or any specific for extension ledger, so in that case, we will use this transaction. We will make the entry in this extension ledger. So this is a kind of functionality and use case for this extension ledger. Advantages we have seen, so I'm not stressing on this point. So ledger group, at the time of ledger group, we saw like there will be one representative ledger and other could be normal ledgers. So group is basically combination of ledgers. So whenever we select here group, so it will, whatever ledgers is contained in that particular group, so it will update to all the ledgers, right? Here we don't enter the ledger. Here is the ledger group. Okay. Here we enter the ledger group, not the ledger. Okay. So ledger contains multiple single, means including one representative ledger. There could be multiple non-representative ledgers. So this system usually uses the representative ledger to determine the posting period during the posting and to check whether the period is open. Posting is then made to the assigned ledgers of the leading ledger. So the posting period, how does it check? So representative ledgers, it gives the priority to the representative ledgers. Okay. If it is open, then it will allow you the posting. If it is closed, then it will allow you the posting to any ledger. Like, understood now, means we assign the posting period at the ledger level, right? Let's go here. So here, ledger level, we assign the posting period variant, fiscal year variant, everything will assign here, right? Fiscal year variant and posting period variant accounting principle, right? So whenever you are making any posting to this leading ledger, so this, whether the period is open or not, so first it will check what is the fiscal year variant, what is posting period variant. Accordingly, it will verify the period is open or not. So chart of account. So there are three kind of chart of account: operational chart of account, group chart of account, and specific chart of account. Okay, so we saw last time what is operational chart of account, what is generally whatever we define, that is your chart of account. So once you go to SPRO, in the so here basically this is your, when you assign here the chart of account, this is your operating chart of account. This is your country specific chart of account. All right. We saw last time also, right? No, group chart of account is assigned within the chart of, at the time of chart of account definition itself. I'll show you. So here itself you assign the group chart of account. So YCOA for YCOA, YCOA itself is the group chart of account. So whenever you assign, make these settings, so basically at the time of GL creation, whenever you create the GL account, so here you basically assign your group chart. This is alternate account number. If country specific chart of account defined, then you need to assign the alternate account number for each operating GL account. So these are basically your operating GL account. And here you assign the group account number. So once you have assigned, created the group chart of account, so it becomes mandatory to assign the group account number here. Okay. So any postings made in this GL account for this company code, this will get reflected in this group account. When you post for other company code in this GL account, so that will also reflect in this group account reports. Okay. So if you wanted to check the alternate account balance, so like once you go to the FS0, FS10, so if you wanted to see the alternate account, so generally like here we don't enter the alternate account number. Instead, we search the corresponding account number corresponding to a particular alternate account. So if suppose there is one alternate account, so what would be the corresponding GL? So balances of this account is basically your alternate account balance. So this was basically your country specific chart of account report requirement. So chart of account is list of general ledger accounts used by organization. Chart of account contain the structure and basic information about the general ledger accounts. It is mandatory to do chart of accounts before creating the general ledger master. So this is the prerequisite stage, because once you go for the creation of GL account creation, so two steps are mandatory. Okay, once you go for the creation of GL account, so here we have different set of data. So here you could see like this is our chart of account specific data. Okay, this is called as chart of account specific data. Here you would see account controlling company code. So this is your company code specific data. Okay, this is our company code specific data. So first step basically is your chart of account specific data. Second, like create account group is mandatory before you create the GL account. So based on this account group, you'll be able to provide the number in share. Third important point is whenever you have to create the master data, so this is field status variant creation is mandatory, and creation assignment to company code is mandatory. Okay, so these are the basic steps that we follow. So yesterday we defined our T. This GL account. Okay, let me define some other GL account. So let me check something related to revenue, domestic, this. So any sort of expense account. So these are my general GL accounts. Let's copy something from here. Hmm. Revenue, civil. Okay. Maybe rather searching like this way, what we can do best is we can just go to FB3, and if we have to make some posting in KR document type. So let me just expand this node /o. Our T code is FP03. So postings made in document type SA. So we'll go to document list 2024. There we'll select our company code, standard company code. Document type SA. So let's open some entries. Suppose we open this entry. Okay. Bank to interest income. So let's copy this GL account to our company code. How can we copy this? We need to go to FS00 screen. We'll search for create. Sorry, create with reference. So use this button. Control F. Or you can press this button. Copy or paste your GL account here. It will be able to find the GL account. What you could do, you can just copy. You change your company code. So we'll keep the same number, but my company code. So this is how we can copy the GL account. So one you might have noticed or not. So basically, like when we created for our company code, the system automatically picked the company code currency. Okay. So here system assigned the field status group. So purpose of this field status group is once you double click on this one, so you can the time of posting the entry, what fields you wanted to make available for entry, what you wanted to make mandatory, what you wanted to sub, which is not useful for a particular GL type. So those for, uh, for those field status group, you can suppress those fields and go and check. So sometimes it happens like you are not being able to find some uh, fields to be available for input. So those you can check the field status group for that particular GL account. This will also understand types, description, this balance sheet, control, and all. We'll understand one by one. Let's copy the other GL. Let's copy this GL account. So if we copy this GL account, then it will ask for the cost center. So let's not copy this GL account. We can define in a different way. So let's quickly create one GL account, but let me check one thing. Copy this GL account. So once we had copied the account, we'll try to post some entry in our GL account. So let's try to post some entry in our company code. So say we want, let's try to post account credit. Just ignore the description in all of the GL account for now. We are getting some error here, probably. Posting period 0 for category plus is not okay. Okay. So what you could do, we'll go to /m OB52 E172. So posting period variant 1710, we'll copy everything from there. So basically, let me just delete this one, save it. This is basically handled by your business user. You don't have the authorization in real system. In production system, this is done by your business user, and even not to all business users. This authorization will have to only the finance head or some like senior people in the finance side who controls the opening and closing of the period. We can just ignore. We can just maintain for only with sign us. We are doing some trade, and although it could have been like revenue kind of account, but yeah, let's have like trade account. Then let's receiving the money in account, something like that. If I just try to post it, okay, this thing there is customizing error in our company code. So let's see that. Posting period variant we have assigned to our company code probably. That's why this is giving the error. So let's check that. If we know the path, then fine. If you don't know the path, so what else you could do? Then just select the posting period variant. So here, if you wanted to know the P code, so what else you could do? You can just go click on additional information, display key, IMG activity. So it will show you the P code as well. So the transaction code would be assignment of variant to company code would be OBVP. So let's first check whether we have defined the posting period variant or not. So we'll search for T1 and 2. So this we have defined. So probably we might not have assigned to our company code. So that's why system is not been able to identify whether the period is open or not. Posting period variant T172. This is also okay. Let's check the customizing settings for ledger, financial accounting. This basically system auto picks, but let's if So let's just double click on this and go to the company code. Our company code 3172. Let's say click source sign. Again, this is giving error. 1 second, let me just check. Let us check for other ledger. Here we don't have entry code 3172. It's fine. Do we have entries code T172 anywhere else? So we can click here. Posting period variant is empty for ledger IL. Company code T172. Not sure why this is giving this error, although this is a sign. Ideally should not show this error. It's first time I'm noticing, even after assignment also, this is giving me the error. Yeah, this is a sign. Why again it is giving the error? Actually, we don't require to maintain it separately. Once you create the company code, and so automatically this gets picked up from your OP, your company code settings. So, like, what is your company code settings? What are the assignments you can check in? So, if you just go to your company code, so company chart of account, fiscal variant, then field status variant, posting period variant, everything is assigned. Let us try to use, because we have used the chart of account, let us try to assign and let's see. So once you make the changes here, automatically will start reflecting your customizing settings as well. I just go and come back here again. We don't require to maintain or assign manually the company code related settings. The fiscal variant and posting period variant will automatically get picked up here. So let's position to our company code T172. Click on details. So automatically see when we make the changes in the assignment of company code, automatically this got changed. Let's save it. Although we don't have to do any changes here. Let's save it. So we can simulate and we'll try to post the entry. Let's try to post it. Still it is giving some error. That is the problem. Okay, now it is saying in IL. The problem is in IL. Okay. Let's see assigned in IL. So as I mentioned, we can have the different fiscal year variant for IL, so that we can assign for IL separately. CRO. So this is the we'll assign our posting period variant. Save it. Now we can just click on here and we'll see or check for our company code T172. So there is no message. So now customizing setting is uh, completely done. We can just go back to let me just do another transaction. Let's go to OPY6. So this was error because of our extension ledger. So if I search for B172, let's assign the B3 back. If I just go back to, let me come out from here, document review, entries found. So let me just go to FP01. So we should not get the customizing ledger customizing related error now. So document got posted. Okay. So how number range gets picked up. So it means we need to read the message carefully. So first time we will keep checking our 0L ledger. It was there because of the other ledger, which is our extension ledger, right? So this is we can do the basic setup. Now we will see what else we could do, like what is there in master data of GL account. Okay, so let us try to create a different kind of GL accounts. So we'll then understand what is the difference between different kind, what are the GL account type and all. Okay, so first let's go for the creation of master data. So sorry, first let me show you in SCDoka table. Shall I show SC16H? Okay. So we posted for our company code 172. Let's see how many entries are there in SCDoka table. Okay. So there are 2 records. Okay. And let us open the document. This is not our company code related document. N. See. This is our posted document. Once I will click on the ledger view, so this you could see like this has got posted to ledger 0L. If I just click, so there are posting in ledger 0L and ledger IL. Okay, let's run the report. F.01 YCO GL account. Let us keep it blank. This time I'm taking the ledger 0L. Okay, and let's run the report. See here, this is coming in our ledger 0L report. Okay, when I run it, say other ledger, let me just check for IL. If I do run it for IL, also get the same result, right? Although when we check this SCDoka, so we don't have any entry for IL. Only we have the entries for 0L, right? So reason, see here, we have just 2 records in the table. It contain like 4 records, right? For each ledger. How many records should it have in SCDoka for accounting which got posted in company code 1710? We have set up 2 ledgers, right? One is one is IL, right? So we could see in the report as well. Let me just go back to financial report and let me just run it in classic. Okay, just let me just. So when we run it in classic mode, so this is coming under our cash and equivalents of total 100. Okay. So this is when we are running for ledger IL, then also we are getting the result, right? If I run it for other than 0L and IL, okay. So will it give me anything, any output? Let's run it for 2L. If I run it,
okay, yeah,
I don't get output.
Yeah, only there is only IO and OL only. We will get the result, right?
Right. So we have like if we check the settings is ledger. So if I just go to 0C, double click on the company code. if I position whether my company code, so T172, so this does not exist here, okay, in 0C.
No.
Let's check in other ledger like 0E. So do we have maintained for 0E ledger? Our company code T172 for ledger 0E? No, right?
No.
So will not have entry, not find the entry here.
Okay.
Then when I go back, check for 0L, so it will always exist, right? By default, this comes under 0L. Whenever you create the company, so you don't require to maintain in 0L. Typically, this way, the entry, you would find the entry of your company code under 0L ledger, okay? This is your leading ledger.
Okay.
So we have the entry, right? And we should never to remove this setting. This is leading ledger and it is always with the leading ledger in any SAP S/4HANA system, okay? Never ever try to make changes to these settings. If you remove the settings and save it now, so not only it will not make your company code inconsistent, but all the company codes existing in the system. Okay, so never ever try to take these settings. So why we don't have, like, we have maintained our company code for 0L, also for IL. So go here. So when I check position my company code, so we could find the entry at IL also, right? But why when we posted the entry, so it where these records are getting stored if it is not in ACDoka for IL? Can anybody tell me? See here when we are running the report, right? Running the report for IL. So we are getting the output, right? We are getting the output when we are running for IL, ledger IL, right? So the IL related information should get stored somewhere, right? Then only it will come in your report. Whenever we made any posting to IL, so that get stored somewhere in any table, right? So means where this is getting stored. If it is not getting stored in ACDoka, I always try to explain this. See, when we follow this presentation now, so you don't miss out any point. Okay. So if you go to the extension ledger features, so this says ki whatever is posted to underlying ledger. So we posted to which ledger? OL. Okay. So it does not store the data in ACDoka, although this will be reported to your extension ledger as well. So if you look at the ledger settings, so the underlying ledger for this one is 0L, right? So whenever you will make the posting in 0L, so there will not be separate record created in ACDoka table, but all the postings made in 0L reported under IL ledger as well. Okay, so this will exactly tally with your IL. But when, let me make some posting now in specific to this ledger. So let me just make some posting. I'll just go here SP01L. So here we need to provide the ledger. I'll just say IL. I'm going to post to ledger IL. Is it string to GL accounts with open item management are not permitted? Okay. So this is open item management. Okay. Let me just post to make some GL account. non-operating managed fixed asset, GL account standard. Maybe we can create something from. It's all related to fixed assets. Just ignore this one. GL accounts. So let's go to /OAP01A. I'm saying this one is my ad posting. Okay, so let's make it just a minute. So let's go to select this GL account, select this GL account, and posting in this GL account 50. Then let me credit C5 series GL account. So I posted the entry now. I'll just go to Loka. Okay, let's come back. Okay, so okay, let me just copy the document. So I am taking ledger 0 and pasting my document number here. Tell me how many records you will find.
In SAP,
Yeah.
for this new document, it will appear with the 2 lines.
So if I try to run it,
But in 0L, it will not appear. Because
it will not appear in 0L.
yeah, because IL is only selected at the time of posting, and it is an extension, so it will not appear to the standard ledger, I think.
It will not appear to 0L. Why not?
But you maintain the underlying ledger as a 0L, right? So I think it will appear.
Okay. So can anybody tell me if I will find the entry in a Siloka table for this transaction? If we just post it, let us see the document first. Okay. So if I just click on ledger view, it is showing has been posted to ledger IL. But I'm not finding the option to, get a view of 0L or any other ledger. This button is gone. If I just go to the other document, here, it's showing in a different manner. Posting, so it is showing the view of 0L ledger. When I click on the other ledger, so it will show view of IL ledger. Do you see the difference between this IL posted in ledger 0L? And here it says IL. Okay, this for this document, it's just showing IL. But when we opening the other document, it is showing IL posted in ledger 0L. What does that mean? So basically, whatever is getting posted, let me just read out the extension ledger advantage of extension ledger. So if I run the report for IL, Okay, so if I report for IL, let me rerun this report. So we have one coming from the previous transaction, 100, and this coming from the current transaction, 50. So net is 150. When I run the report for 0L, so how much it go? So if I run for 0L, see, when I run it for IL, my IL is my extension layer. Okay. So we have made two postings. Okay. One posting is to my ledger IL. Okay. And second posting to my ledger 0L. Okay. So when I run the financial statement, so here the value in bank account is 100, where I posted in ledger 0L. When I posted in ledger group IL, so here my value in bank account is 50. So when I run the report for financial statement, okay, so it is showing me 100 and 50, both the line items. This is coming from which I posted to ledger 0L. This is coming from which I posted to ledger IL. Okay, the second line coming. Okay. But when I run it for 0L ledger,
so only I think 100.
it will show only 100.
100,
What
yeah.
what we only posted to 0L. If I go to the this AC Doka view, this one now. So let me remove the document. It will show me the 4 entry. So one corresponding to this two line items corresponding to 0L, two line items which is corresponding to IL. Okay. I'm not sure why the 5 series is not coming in the report. Probably that is not signed anywhere. So that's the reason. Maybe that 5 series is not assigned anywhere. So that's the reason. This might not have been coming. Where is the problem? If 5 line item is not appearing in my this report, then can someone tell me? Probably that 5 series is not assigned in our FSP. So we need to, like, which FSP we are checking. 1 second. We go back here. So generally, like here, we assign the statement. So we need to check this financial statement version. Where we can check /n OB. So position company code 1712, 1710. Then we need to check whether we need to expand this, and we need to find out whether the 5 series one is assigned in our FSP or not. So understood. We'll discuss this point later. Maybe this time not required. But coming back to the other point, so why we are not been able to view, sorry, when we run the report /n f.01. So we discussed these points in our presentation. Okay, how the reports are captured. We were using this term multiple times. Okay, not this slide, this slide. Yeah, so let me just go to the extension ledger. Benefits are reduced data footprint and zero reconciliation. So whenever we make the posting in 0L, okay, and 0L is the underlying ledger for, if I just go to the settings of ledger settings. So what is the underlying ledger for IL? This extension ledger, 0L. So whenever we will make the postings for 0L, there will not be separate record created and stored in ACDOCA. So no separate record for these two items. When we post it to 0L, it will also reflect in the IL reporting as well. Okay, but there will not be separate record created in your ACDOCA table. So here, we are not consuming more storage, right? So if this is meant for some kind of management reporting, some kind of specific tax reporting, so what we will pass is specific to this ledger, some sort of adjustment. So once we pass the entry kind of adjustment postings to this ledger, so whatever posted here in IL is plus whatever is posted to IL, both will appear in your report. So this is what I'm trying to say. So this we have posted to IL. So this is also coming in our report. So there is a entry in ACDOCA. But this we posted to 0L and there is no record created in ACDOCA for IL. But this is also getting reported in your extension ledger IL. So whatever we post to the underlying ledger, what will be shown in your extension ledger? So posting made in your underlying ledger and posting made is specific to your non-leading ledger. So this plus 5 will be shown in your extension ledger 0C. If the underlying ledger for 0C is 0L. Okay. If underlying ledger for 0C is different. So whatever you post to 0L will not reflect in your 0C reports, right? Key to understand this concept. We go by some order. When we do the kind of, settings in system directly now, so we miss the order. We will start talking about ledger, then we will start talking about the GL master, then we will start talking about something else. So we'll keep, it becomes a little difficult to, like which topic, and some point will come, then you can just switch to other topics. So that's how, to miss the order. So that's why I just try to follow this, presentation and go by this presentation. So I was also like showing you in the system, but now like when I did the posting in the system, so this will become, so whatever you are able to understand from this presentation, maybe once I will make the posting, then it will get simplified and give you more perspective. So I would suggest like to go by the present, but I'm okay with whatever you suggest. Like I'm not sure like we have missed something. So after ledger, we have to talk about this general ledger mark and all. So chart of account and all those things we have to discuss next. So we have not discussed these things in detail. Account group, field status group, So we have to next discuss all these things in detail. Okay, creation. So what are the operations we can perform at the time of creation of master data? Those are all things we have to next understand.